All right, this is a general installation video for almost any VRChat asset out there. However, keyword, almost, this will not apply to all assets, especially those that you have to do your own toggles, have special features such as OC leash, etc. But this will be a general installation video that should work for most assets that have either VRCFury or preset FX layers, menus, parameters, all the good stuff. So this first bit will be installing our asset with VRCFury. We are going to be using a very dumbed down version of the Rexonium. I set this avatar up to be as simple as possible, just to kind of represent almost any avatar out there. You have your main avatar descriptor under this actual name, mesh, and the armature, all right here. Now, as our example for today, we're going to be using the M18 smoke grenade that you can find free on my Gumroad page. All my assets can be found under DittyDos and under these folders. Now, the M18 smoke grenade is going to be a good representation of what most assets require for installation. Some may be a little more simple, some may be a little bit more complex, but most assets are just going to be around this type of installation. To start off, we will be learning VRCFury. So for VRCFury, the prefab will be found right here. Just drag and drop. And bam, there it is. I would recommend not unpacking this prefab, so do not unpack it, as this will allow you to receive updates. What you want to do first is scale this prefab. Make sure it is under your avatar hierarchy. So if I put it under like the body right there, that is not under the avatar hierarchy. All right, make sure it's directly under this like initial name right here. All right, but yeah. What you first want to do is scale. I'm going to pretend this isn't already pre-fit to the Rex. We're going to want to scale. Let's say, oh, I want it a little bigger. Then you want to position it using these constraints right here. Do not use, even if there's only one constraint, do not use this prefab, like the main prefab right here, to position your asset. It will not work in some cases, or it may break some things. So just please, using the constraints themselves, it leads to much more accurate end results anyway. So let's get going. Now let's say I want to move this all the way down right here. Rotate it if you wish. Put the name out there maybe. I want the name right there. Voila. Now with the preview, this position preview right here, you can just kind of see where it's at. It's a good example of what you may see, especially my newer products. This position preview gives you a good look at where you want to position this right here. Now, on this side, we're going to pretend, let's say we don't have a position preview. Because like some of my older products don't have it, especially from like over a year ago. So, to see where we're going to be moving this on this constraint right here, we will be turning down the hip constraint on this little object right here and turning up the left hand constraint. So this essentially sets all the weight to this parent constraint to 1 on the hand constraint itself. So now we can see exactly where this is going to be when it's moved to the hand or left hand, and we can position it exactly how we wish. So now if we turn back on the preview, let's set this back to where it was, and as we can see, it's almost identical to the other one. That's perfect. Furthermore, you can turn this off so it's not visible. Most assets do that. Now, if it's from another creator, that may depend, but for most of my assets, you should be able to turn this off. Now, if you can't, then just leave it on. It's no big deal. It is what it is. Now, to change the menu with VRCFury, since we want to keep this packed, we have to go into the prefab itself to change this. Now, what you want to do is determine where you want to place this smoke grenade menu in your avatar menu. Let's say you have an asset menu, just right here. You just type that in, put a dash, and you can put M18 smoke grenade right there. And then voila. and that will be the directory it essentially sends it to. So we'll be able to find that under asset menu, then M18 smoke grenade, in our avatar menu. Let's go ahead and test it. Make sure we did everything correctly. Got everything done well. Bam, yeah, bam. There's our asset menu. Bam, smoke grenade. Bam. There you go. It works. You can test it like to go into hands. You can test parameters if you want by going to under debug. So let's see the smoke grenade hand R. Yep. So now it's in the right hand. Let's open it. Boom. Obviously there's a floor, so it's going into the abyss, but it clearly works. It clearly works. So that's essentially it for VRCFury. Now on to manual installation. Let's delete this like nothing happened. Yep. Alright, now onto the manual installation. This can be useful for assets that you may want more control over. You want to modify yourself, and you don't want to use VRCFury to do it. Or also just, if you just want faster upload times. Because VRCFury does take a toll on the upload time, and, you know, for the sheer convenience of doing everything itself. So, to get started, we want to do the same as VrCFury, drag and drop for the avatar hierarchy. But now, we do want to unpack this prefab. Like, there's really no good way of getting around this, because we have to move these constraints later on. Now, again, we want to scale however we want. I'm going to pretend again this is not set up for the Rex. We're going to have to position these constraints as we wish once more. Again, let's rotate it. Why not? Let's move these hand constraints. And again, we're going to go through how to move this hand constraint if there wasn't a position preview. Let's go ahead, find the parent constraint for this asset. Turn the hip down to 1. Turn the constraint I'm positioning up to 1. And now we can see where it is in relation to the hand left constraint. You can move it. Voila. There we go. Let's change this back to how it was. All right, to hip. And voila. So now positioned, this is essentially the same thing you have to do with VRCFury, just without unpacking. So like for manual installation, you do want to unpack your prefab. Now here, we do have to delete this manually, and we do not want any VRCFury components at all. So delete all the VRCFury components, unless, well, okay, so this depends exactly what you want to do. So if you don't want to use any VRCFury, yeah, delete them all. But if you want to use some, you can. So if you want to, if you don't want to touch these constraints right here, you can leave the armature links up. We will not be doing that for this tutorial, as this will be entirely manually, completely without any VRCFury components at all. So, yep, get rid of all the VRCFury components. Most of those will be only under the main prefab name itself, just for convenience. So now we will want to move these constraints to their respective armature. So hip goes into hip, hand right goes into hand right, or right hand. Let's find it here. Right, yep, there it is. Go right under that. For the Rex is right wrist. For most avatars, it should be something similar along the lines. Maybe right hand, left hand, etc. Move the left hand to the left hand now, or left wrist. My bad. Can move it, and voila. So now our prefab will become looking kind of a little dull like this. No pictures in preview, no more constraints under the prefab itself. But now you can see. Let's see. If we move the, let's go to spine for better. If we were to move this left shoulder, the smoke grenade will be moved with it. Sitting right there. So now that we know that the grenade is correctly attached to our armature, we should be relatively good to go. Oops. Modify component, revert. Fixed. Pretend that didn't happen. Anyway, now the asset is correctly added to the avatar itself. However, we need to add the smoke grenade's FX, menu, and parameters to our avatar's FX, menu, and parameters. To do that, you will want to get Avatar's 3.0 Manager. And we'll find it right here under VR Labs up here. Click it. Drag and drop your avatar into this little box right here. You'll find FX. You do not need to worry about any of these other menu options. Just find FX. And then you want to add controller to merge. All controllers for my assets themselves will be found under the main menu along with the prefab right here. Just drag, drop it there. Don't worry about these. These are just default parameters. So they're just saying these parameters are already added. You don't need these. Perfect, right? So you just want merge on current or merge on copy. This is just so if you want to make a new copy of your FX with the smoke grenade added. This can be good for keeping a backup essentially. But we're just gonna go ahead and merge on current, and we can see here it looks to be good to go, and we're good. Now for the parameters, we want to find this little 3-line and 3-dot sort of menu on the side. Right here, we can see our parameters. All our parameters will be named right here. With this being an example avatar, we currently don't have any parameters, and our memory used will be 0 out of 256, or however many parameters you have out of 256. Keep in mind that if you go above this number, your avatar will probably not be able to upload, as this is a hard cap for the number of parameter memory or bits you have on your avatar. Parameters that are saved. Actually, saved. Saved or synced? Let's see. Now you want to find the parameter menu sort of thing for our asset. This again will also be directly under the asset folder. You find no need to go into any of these additional folders, and you'll just want to copy the parameters. Bam, there we go. You can see our parameter memory is now up to 13. That's because bools use ones. Bools are 1 parameter memory. Floats are 8. And inits are also 8. So we have 1, 8, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And everything looks good. Saved and synced. And then that's essentially it. We can close this out. We can go to our avatar. Go to our FX. And now we can see our FX has all these layers added to the actual FX layer itself. Now, if you're using a pre-made avatar and have an avatar that has other things on it, there will be other things here, and these smoke grenade layers will be added to the very bottom. And then same thing for example parameters. Everything will be added here, and you probably will have more stuff like, avatar toggles, stuff right here, and that will be in addition to these added parameters. So now we can see everything seems to be good, but wait, we need to add a toggle. So to do that, you want to find your avatar menu. An easy way to do this is just going to your avatar descriptor, see it right here. Oh, it's the same thing as I just clicked on earlier. Oh well, but you can find it right there. So to do that, you can do this one of 2 ways. We're going to be doing it the second way, but for the first way, you can essentially copy the asset menu itself into this sort of menu. So you'd have to make your own out toggles, so like 18 smoke grenade, toggle, bool. Since our parameters are already added to the avatar parameters, all those parameters can pop up here. So that makes it easier. And you'll just want to essentially copy the smoke grenade menu into this yourself. That can be really tedious and really long. Just take time. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a submenu, which is essentially just the same thing I just did. But we go to submenu. And now we want to find our smoke grenade once more. That's right there. And our menu. That's a good way to do this. I'm gonna lock this right here. Up in this, you can lock this menu, inspector menu. You can go back here. Voila. So you want to drag and drop into the sub menu right there. And that will automatically add this menu with all these toggles to my avatars menu. And so that'll be, it's perfect for what I want. Right? So now, if you want to add it under like the pre-existing sub menu, let's just pretend, I don't know, we have asset menu, right? You have a menu for your assets. It will be considered a sub menu. You will have your own sub menu right here. Let's just create one right now. Just an example. Sub menu. Bam. So let's just pretend this is our sub menu for our assets, just to kind of organize them a bit. We want to do just the exact same thing here, except we're in this sub menu right here. So this, our asset menu, that's what we want to change, essentially, instead of our main menu for our avatar. Just go in right here. I want imitating smoke grenade, right? 10 smoke grenade, I feel like, too. Mostly. It is free, so feel free to get it. We got one menu. Oh, I have to go all the way back. No. Let's block that. Bam. So again, this manual way is more tedious, but it does give you more customization. So now I can add whatever image I want to this menu. Magazine, sure. Anyway, there we go. And now it should be added. Everything should be good. Let's get rid of this. I don't want magazine as that image. Anyway, let's test it using Gesture Manager, which can also be found under the VrChat Creator Companion under Manage Projects. So, bam, there's our asset menu again. Imitating smoke grenade again. Boom. And it works perfectly. Voila. So that is how you add almost essentially any asset, whether it be with VRCFury or manual installation. Again, though, to reiterate, this may not work for all assets, as depending on the creator and the asset itself, it may not have FX layers or VRCFury components included. Stuff like that, you'll need a little bit more Unity knowledge. Just, but it shouldn't be too hard. So perhaps we'll cover toggles in another video. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, if you need help, again, please reach out in the Discord. There's links on every single product page, every single installation page, multiple times on the installation page. So please reach out if you need help. Hopefully this video itself cleared some things up. And thank you for watching. If you are one of the people who bought my assets, thank you for using my assets. They're fun to make, and hopefully they're just as fun to use. Anyway, thank you for your time. Have a good rest of your day and enjoy your asset.